G'day everyone, welcome back and welcome to my channel Girl in the Garage, and welcome to Froggy Friday, best day of the week. So what are we doing tonight? Well, I thought I'd do another fall frog because it's fall, y'all. And what are we doing tonight? Well, I thought we'd do pumpkins. Well, we're going to start with pumpkins anyway. So I'm just mixing up 3 ounces of my Stoyo 1:1 and using the Lotus Resin hands-free mixer, which is awesome. So still deciding what else we're going to do, but want it to be pretty, and I think it will be. I was going to make it a light, but I'm not going to. So if you are new and you don't know about lights, where you put a plug in, so you've got a cavity for your light. Well, a lot of my viewers have asked me whether I would sell the plugs. And I said I wouldn't sell the plugs, but I've got plugs made up. And the lights, which are going to be on my website, which are on my website. So that's your plug. So if you put a plug in, pour resin, when it's cured, you pull your plug out, there's a cavity to put a little light in, LED light, battery operated, when you finish, so your frog can light up, or whatever else you want to put it in. So yes, I do now have plugs available and lights in 2 different sizes. So I've got a small and a large. So there's my large plug, large LED light, colour changing that one. Hopefully you can see that. So yeah, if you're interested, go and check out my website. That's where they will be listed. Because I had so many requests for plugs, and apparently someone else was making them, but they were crap, so I've got some. If you're interested, go and check out my website. That's where they'll be. Okay, so still got 50 seconds left on the mixer. So I just thought, I haven't done my eyes. If I want to do eyes, I'll do them at the end. Last week's Froggy Friday, she was just too gorgeous. Thank goodness didn't put eyes in. I was going to do it after the fact, but I didn't. And everyone said, oh, don't put the eyes in. And I didn't put the eyes in. I'm glad I didn't. So this was her. And she was too gorgeous for eyes. So if you haven't seen that video, go and check it out. I'll link it probably here. So yeah, she's got no eyes still. Isn't she gorgeous? Just love her. So simple, easy and elegant. All right. So let me just drain my paddle. I'll turn off. In case you're wondering, I put like a little mold under my cup. Otherwise my cup just spins about being plastic. So when I put my little mold down, it doesn't move. Okay, so hopefully these aren't going to discolour or the paint's going to run. I got them from Temu last year sometime. Look at that. $2.27 I paid. Oh, love it. Alright, so just a matter of us putting in our pumpkins where we want them, arranging them however. Sort of want them all different ways, I think. Of course, that one's got to move. They're all going to move until we get them in, wedge them in somehow or other. I think it's going to really matter. As long as they're down, sort of under sort of want them all different ways, I'm thinking. It's sort of working, isn't it? Yep. And we want them, we want to be able to see that they're pumpkins. So don't want them all sort of going the same way. Some showing their fronts, some showing their backs. Some maybe sideways. Be able to get another one in there somewhere would be good. Hopefully, maybe. Without distorting it. Good luck with that, Lisa. Okay, let's just give that a push. Sort of ish. Okay, thinking that's probably as good as it's going to get, maybe. Yep. Just make sure that going different ways. If I need to chop a bit off, I can. Okay. All right, that's going to do. What do you reckon? Let's chop that bit off. Let's quickly give this a bit of a stir. Try not to incorporate too many bubbles so I don't have to put it in the vacuum chamber. But I probably will, I think. I was going to put a little bit of gold dust in, but yeah, let's. So we'll just put a tip, just a little smidgen in. A little micro spoon. So I only want just over half a micro spoon. Because it does overpower. So hopefully you can see that in the paddle. It's just the slightest. All right, I'll pop this in the vacuum chamber and I shall be back. So while that was in the vacuum chamber, I found my Fluoro Orange acrylic ink. So, put a couple of drops in this little cup. It's probably overkill, but never mind. Put a little bit of our resin in. Give it a good mix. Hopefully that's enough. I want to drip this into the toes, fingers. I want one drip because I don't want it to drip down into the feet, the hands. Come on. Oops. Just trying to get this like a mega tiny drop in that little toe. Well, I'll come back to that. Beautiful. Might just have to clean that up a little wee bit. Beautiful. Okay, let's pour. Now I'm going to fill this. We're not going to fill it full, but just enough so the majority of our pumpkins are covered, because we want a nice little sparkly background, I think. So it's starting to come up to the elbows, halfway up the feet. Just want to get some more in that head. Push out that bubble there. Bubble there. No, need a bit more resin. It was just popped up. It's going to continue. I just pull it out. Actually, I might even just pull it out. It was, yeah, a bit jam-packed. Pop these ones back down. I might even put a silicone stick on there, I'm thinking. Yeah. And let's put another one on. And if they're still going to rise, I'll just put a mold on top. But I'm thinking that is about good. So it's about to there. So we've still got a gap to our feet, and we can still see our hands. It's probably to the wrists. So then once this sets up or is tacky, we'll do a back coat. So I'm just going to spritz. Just make sure there's, I can't see any bubbles there. That's it. I'm going to leave it. So I'll come back when we're ready for our next layer. So see you then. Actually, still got some resin, so let's just get rid of that. Just cleaning off my resiny pumpkin. So I've got some pumpkins here. Just found them in my little fall stash and Halloween stash. So I've actually just coloured them, brushed on some chrome mica powder. I think it's a combination between Let's Resin and Mateo chrome powders. So I'll get some black. I'd like to fill one orange and one black. I don't know if I've got enough resin made up. We've got a little bit of orange. Okay, let's just go orange. Yeah, why not? Let's just go orange. See if that gives us a good look. I mean, black usually makes the chromes and the chameleon powder stand out better, but let's just go with what we've got. So I'm going to put some more of my orange in. Grab a stick that's been coated in resin. Actually, I might just add some orange mica because I haven't used this one yet. So this is the Let's Resin orange. And that will just make it nice and opaque. I'm just looking at my drips, they're starting to run, so I'm going to have to remove some of that. So that's not the look I'm going for. Done to I'm just pushing that back up a bit. It's a bit better. Let's see if we've got enough to fill up our biggest pumpkin. By the time I scrape my cup, it should be full, so awesome. Yay! Okay, oops, this has moved, the little hooah. Okay, it looks like I'm going to have to put a mould on that. So we'll do. That'll keep that down. All right. Spritz this one. Pop that. Oh, no, it's gone. No, little one there. Pop that bubble. And I'm going to come back when we're ready for our next layer. So see you then. Okay, so I've got 2 ounces made up. Pulled out 2 glitters. We've got Autumn and Harvest, both by Glitter Mine. We'll take off our little mould and sticks. I've got a big hill above it right there. There, one there. Got a few bubbles. Okay. Hopefully we won't see them. Break off the bubble as much as I can. Could always fill it with UV, but I don't think I'll bother because we're just going to put glitter in the back. So hopefully the glitter will go into those bubbles. So hopefully you can see that. So I've just sort of popped that thin surface of the bubble. Now we're going to cut this off with our little snips without cutting our mould. Just like that. You might have one sticking up a bit, but that's okay. So I've got 2 ounces. I haven't put it through the debubbler because I don't think it'll matter. I'm going to do some Harvest. Autumn, sorry, because it's got the little autumn leaves in it. Pour a bit of that in. And same with the Harvest. Let's see what we've got. Beautiful. I'm not going to put glue in because we want our glitter to sink. Pretty good. I might just add a bit more of the Harvest. That was probably a bit of overkill there, but anywho. Just want a little bit thicker so that's in a stick. Yeah, that's better. And you're just going to spritz and pour. Just going to get those little bubbly bits first and give it a poke. So I want them to fill up. Just help a bit of that glitter get into the toes and the hands. And we'll get our little stick, dotting tool, I should say, and get that glitter covered over everything. I think I've got a bit of a gap happening here, so let's just open that up a bit. So we want our glitter to go down in there. So I'm just breaking that seal a bit. Hopefully you can see that. So I want that glitter to get down in there. Just angling it up a bit with my little finger. Hopefully you can see that. Give it a push. Just don't want any bubbles left in there. Okay, I think that's it. We'll babysit this for a little while. Hopefully get some more glitter to go under that neck. Okay, find something to put that in, and I'm going to come back. Oh, actually, I've got another pumpkin. Let's put it in that. Not going to see it, but we'll use the resin. Let's get my little tool, because I want to get it down in the, make sure it's in the little stemmy bit. Give it a squeeze. find something else for all this glitter, and I shall come back, meet you for demold. So let's see what we have. Hopefully it's turned out pretty. Okay. And we've got a little bit of glitter in there, but at least it's nice and clear, the head. Okay, here we go. Ooh, cute. Love him. Definitely need some eyes though. So I'll be definitely putting some sticker eyes on. Only a tiny bit of trimming. But yeah, he's super clear. Very happy with that. Can't see those bubbles, so that's good. But yeah, I think he looks awesome. I love his toes and his fingers. And then that bit of sparkle behind. Awesome. All right, let's get our pumpkins out and then we'll pop some eyes in, I reckon. So let's see how these turned out. Oh yeah, I thought they were going to be matte, but they're cute. You can just see a little bit of the glitter clump coming through where I haven't exactly brushed all that mica. But I might put some glaze on that just to shine it up. I think it'll look a bit better. Ooh, there's the other one. Cute or what? Definitely needs trim. But yeah, different. All right, pop you on hold and on pause, I should say. And I'll grab some eyes. Okay, so I've got my 10, 8 and 6mm stick-ons. So these ones are a little bit domed. Hopefully you can see that. So they're not as sort of like bulky as the other glass cabochon eyes, but this is just another way of doing it. So I've got my Dremel, and just got to be careful that you don't slip when you're doing this. And just want to take that off so it's nice and flush. Hopefully you can see that. So that one's now. So it's nice and flat, whereas this one is see how that's still got the glass bubbly bit. Sorry, I'm trying to, there, that one's rounded. So I've basically just taken off that front bit, that bit that's sticking out, so it's nice and flush to fit our 8mm eye, I think. One of those. Oops. Sometimes I've got to use a bit of glue just to sure it sticks. Go. Move it a little bit. There. And then we're going to cover that with UV. Yeah. So do that again. Just need to take off a little bit more. Good. Okay. Oops. So just make sure they're in the right place where we want them, which I think look pretty good. So now I'm just going to put some UV around the sides, and then I'll fill in all over the top of the pupil. Okay. I'm just going to put some resin right there. You can always use a little cup or something. Now let's see how good I can do this. Without using my Maggie mat like I normally do. Just going all around the side. And then when I think I've got it right, I'll just go all the way over. So there's no little bubbles. Shouldn't be long. Sort of playing with it like that. And then I'm just going to put my So I'll do this with my little torch, and then I'll put it under the big lamp. And then I'm just going to fill in a bit more there, because I can see I've got a bit of a gap. Oops. How's that looking? Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So just going to give it one more sort of covering all over the pupil. A little bit more. Give that a cure. And then let's see how we did for not using my Maggie lamp. So I'm going a bit blind here, but it's okay. Should look okay, I hope. There we go. That's that one done. Hopefully you can see that. Not too bad, not too shabby. Definitely looks better with eyes. So I'm going to do the other one. I'll do it off camera just so I can actually see what I'm doing. But I wanted to show all my newbies out there, just in case you hadn't seen it or you hadn't seen one of my other videos. And just going to chop this excess off. Basically all I'm going to do with these guys, I will neaten it up nicer on the bottom, but in the meantime, quick way of shining up your dull or matte molds. Instead of using UV, I just use some sort of glaze. This is the dragonfly glaze, but yeah, any sort of gloss varnish, whatever you got. I'm just going to brush this on. It will go clear. It sort of brushes on white. This one's got a sort of bit of red sparkle in it. That'll give it a nice little shine. And I just find this is easier than using UV. But you can use, yeah, whatever varnish you have, clear varnish, gloss, whatever. So I'll finish these off and I'll come back when they're all dry and when I've finished my eyes.
All finished up, and I had these molds left over with chrome powder in them, and I thought, oh, let me put some eco resin or casting powder in and let's see if it transfers. That's the chrome powder, that is. So what do you reckon? Let's see what different effect maybe we get or not. Oh. That one didn't have any in. Oh goodness. Okay, let's try that again. Pretty sure this one did. Yeah, look. Oh wow, look at that. Virtually the same. How cool is that? Next. Let's try this one. Not as bright, is it? Maybe it's the colour. I can't even remember now which was which. Whether it was the Let's Resin, the Mateo. I think that was the Mateo. Yeah. I'm thinking the Mateo is a lot duller than the Let's Resin. Now let's do a little mini turtles. Oh, that's cute. I like that. That's definitely Let's Resin. That's nothing. thinking that was maybe Let's Resin. Yes, these are all the Let's Resin, that's right, because it's a black. So the black's pretty dull, but sparkly. Love that silver. What a difference. Oh, and let's do our sparkly little INTORESIN turtle. See what we get. Well, the mold needs a good clean up. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Yeah. You can see where some of the powder didn't come out or I didn't brush it properly. Still a little bit sparkly. Cool, something different. All right. So let's have a look at what I did. So you can see these are quite shiny now. So I just brushed them with the Dragonfly glaze. I actually did 2 coats. So that's an easy way of shining up your things instead of having to put the UV resin. So I did this with my little frog as well. I used, I used the Duraclear gloss varnish on this one. I only did 1 coat. I'll probably do another coat, but it's come up quite shiny, which I like that. No brush strokes. A lot easier than trying to brush on UV resin. The other way is dipping UV resin is really good to shine up. But yeah, put some eyes on him. Same way as I did the big frog. And he's got a little bat, which is hat. And we just made our little turtle magnet. Can't remember if I poured a black one as well. Got so much stuff everywhere. It's like, oh, did I do this? Did I do that? So with this koala, this is the one that had the little scratch. So I just stuck the koala over the top of the kanga and just made a little keychain. And again, the same with the big one, even though it wasn't scratched. So I just did a double up just for something different. So it turned out quite cute. Oops. Knocking over my pumpkins and my little ghost hat, witch hat. And here's our chrome turtle. This is the Temu chrome. And I just rubbed some buff and rub. I think that's what it is. I can't remember what it's called. It's really late here and I'm half asleep at this stage of the night. But yeah, I think it turned out really effective. You can also do that with your acrylic paint. And I did some bag tags. So what these are, I was checking out my drawer and I had some old letters that I did ages ago. And they're just on those clear acrylic discs that you get in packs. So I just had some keychain letters basically left over. And I just made them lumpy. Just for something different. Just to give you ideas of what you can do. But yeah, I thought they were cute for bag tags. And here's a little pumpkin froggy dude. I think he turned out sweet. You guys reckon? The only decision now is a purple hat or orange hat. Let me know in the comments. I like them both. Well, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. Don't forget to go and check out the Froggy Friday playlist and see what everybody else has been up to this week. And if you're interested in channel membership, I now have that available. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd love you to. And stay tuned for the photos. And a huge big I love you and thank you to my subscribers and my channel members. Love you guys. Thanks heaps for all your likes, comments and shares. And I look forward to reading your comments. So see you soon for the next video. Bye.